Hi folks, I'm going to do a series of videos. Could be a pretty lengthy series. Uh, the hat was for attention. It says Indiana Department of Correction. So let me go ahead and change my hats out real quick, and then we'll get on to what it is I wanted to talk about. Okay, as you've guessed by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about being a correctional officer. Why become a correctional officer? I've been watching some videos. Some videos popped up actually on my feed on YouTube, and they were talking about perspective of prisons from the convict's perspective. Okay, let me address convict real quick. Convicts, that's a word. A lot of people think that's bad, you know. That's something that I picked up while I was in prison, working for the prison system. And I kind of just stuck with that. Offenders, and I don't like offender, prisoner, things like that. I stuck with convict. That's how we talked. We talked in a way that was different than the public talks. Okay. So why become a correctional officer? Why? Well, I had a job for 4 years previous to going to the state of Indiana. It wasn't my only job. I'm just saying I was at this job for 4 years, and I got a layoff. What do they call those? Layoff without subject to recall. I can't think what it's called. Indefinite layoff. And I had just subsequently met up, just by happenstance, met up with a buddy that used to work with me at the place that I had got laid off from. And me and him were lifelong friends. And, I talked to him. I said, hey, how you doing, man? Exchange pleasantries and so on. I asked him what he's doing now. I told him I'd just been laid off. And he said, oh, I'm working at the prison. So I was like, at the prison? Well, what is that? I didn't even know we had a prison around us, I knew because the prison from my hometown is about, it's a 20-minute drive, 20-minute drive. So I said, I knew they was doing something up there. I just didn't know it was a prison. He said, yeah, I started there so many months ago and doing pretty good. I like it. So I decided, hey, man, right at Christmas time. My hire date for the DOC was 12/13 of 99. So right at Christmas time, just before Christmas, I got laid off from these idiots, and I needed something, so I went there, and bam, I got hired on. Okay, so that's how I became a correctional. I'm going to try to do this series as beginning to end and all the stories in between. Now, folks, I have 15 years of stories that I can tell, 15 years of learning and things like that I can tell. It's going to be really hard to keep names out of everything, and I will be referring to me as B, because a lot of convicts did call me B in there. Hey, B, what's up? Hey, B. And my last name starts with B, and that's what they called me, And so that's what I did, okay? I went to the prison system. Subsequently, my brother, he was just a couple months behind me. I told him, hey, got this job. It don't pay too bad, and job security, and so on and so forth. So we went out there, and we were known as, by the convicts, we were known as twins, and we were also known as, on individual levels, known as B. So that was my that was my initiation into correctional officer. Now, before I got hired in, I didn't know exactly what it was I was getting into. I never thought of working for a prison system. I never thought of anything like that, jails or anything. I was always on the other end. I was doing like tradesmen and stuff. I was doing millwright work and fabrication and so on and so forth, structural welding, things like that. I did all that stuff. I never thought of this. So I got out there, and I think it's at the time we had 4 weeks training before you could go inside and work inside the facility. It's worth noting that the facility opened in 1999, and it was like May or June-ish of '99, so it was brand new. Folks, let me tell you something about that, man. When you have a brand new facility and it's new to the area, that means you're going to have brand new staff, okay? And in having brand new staff members, they're going to bring all brand new convicts, right? No, no. You have seasoned offenders uh, with brand new staff members. Looking back on that time, oh man, you know they had a blast with us, man. You just know they did. Um, and we'll get into those stories as we go along here. Okay. Now the facility was new, and it opened when it wasn't ready. It was just not ready. When I got there in '99, I got there and there was only 2 units open, and as of today, they have say roughly 13 units. I don't recall. Somebody can. I'm sure I got friends that still work out there that can comment on that on the video. I'm thinking 13 units plus a segregation unit, and so on. And 2 OSBs. OSB stands for Offender Services Building. That's education and hospital and infirmary and things like that. And then they had 2 chow halls, which is where they eat, cafeterias. So when I hired in, they had minimum housing, which is on the outside of the facility, and then they had F unit. That was only 2 units. I think only half of F unit was open when I got there. So here we are, correctional staff, young, dumb, ignorant, don't know anything. I got this book. I don't think I hit on this. I started reading up on what I was getting into, and I got this book called The Other Prisoner, and I read that. And it's about correctional staff. Okay, and I can't find this book today. I searched and searched, and I can't find any information on it yet. If I do, I'll come back and I'll address that. But it's called The Other Prisoner, and it's talking about staff members inside the prison. And it started telling about how staff are treated and how this works and how that works and so on. And it was really interesting, and it gave me a little bit of heads up as to what I was getting into. Well, I didn't. When we got there, like I said, there's only half a unit open. They held 101 or 102. I think it's 102 convicts per side of a housing unit. So we had 102 there, and then we had 110 or 20ish out in minimum housing. The facility wasn't under any video observation at all. And I say at all, I'm talking about housing units and things like that, was not under video surveillance. Maybe the yards were, the recreation yards and so on. But we weren't under a lot of scrutiny at that time because it just opened before they were ready. Imagine that, a state, and I'm talking all 50 states, doing something before they were ready, But they had to get that money flowing to get it from the federal government to get things going. That's my opinion. Well, put a lot of us into a lot of jeopardy, and we had when you're a correctional officer, you are sent into an environment where you are right now out there at that facility. There is over 3,300 convicts, and I don't know the staff members. We'll just say 200 staff, 400 staff members. Let's just make it easy math. 300 staff members. That's 100 per shift. Okay, and that's not an accurate number. It's just we're going to go with that because it's easy math. So you got 100 per shift, 3,300 convicts. You're already outnumbered. Man, that's 3 to 1, but it's not, folks. When you're on a housing unit and you're on one side of the house, that's your range. That's 102 to 1. You're outnumbered 102 to 1 unless you go to OSB. I'm sorry, the chow halls, and then you're outnumbered 300 to 1. And probably still 101 because there's usually 3 staff members to a chow hall. So anyway, 101, you're outnumbered. You have no weapons. There's no weapons. And the thing is, you need weapons, right? These aren't playground. These aren't play school kids. This isn't preschool. These are convicted felons, and some of them are convicted for murder, rape, obviously, drug charges, everything under the book, things we're going to get into later stories that's going to just, wow, you know, people that we deal with, okay, or I dealt with, we'll just say that. I have friends out there now that are, and I'm going to end this video on this note. I have friends out there now that are still in it, and so they are my family, extended family, and I consider myself as part of them, even though I can't help them or do anything with them or for them now. So let's just talk about that. In a correctional setting, you make a bond with people that is it's second to just your family. Okay, when you consider someone a friend out there, you also know that you are putting your life in their hands. And okay, that goes back to what I was saying. They, excuse the band-aid, if you've watched the previous video, you know what happened. They know that if it hits a fan, they're going to call me for help, and I will be there, okay? And vice versa. I knew they would be there. Okay, now when you're fighting 110 convicts and you're just two people, guess who's going to win that fight? But that's not the point. The point is, hey man, we're going in it, and we're going to fight our way out, and that's that. And it's just how it works. But anyway, you end up, your bond with people is more of a family bond than it is a coworker slash acquaintance slash friend bond. I have staff members now that I talk to, and at the end of our conversation, it's always, all right, man, I love you. I'll see you later. So I love you too, buddy. Bye. And I'm talking men, women. It doesn't matter. If you depended on them, they depended on you. That's the bond you have. So my reason for doing these videos is there's many perceptions from the other side of this on YouTube, but there's really not the correctional officer's perception. And the public's idea of prison is 180 degrees of what real prison is like. Okay, now I keep in mind too that I'm here in Indiana. This is the Indiana prisons. Okay, the Indiana prison system went right along with the book, The Other Prisoner. Okay, but we don't have a lot. Didn't when I was out there. I haven't been in prison, been working at the prison now for 6 years. But when I was out there, and I know it's still the same because like I said, I still got people there I talk to. We didn't have the segregation that you talk about that you'll see like in California, Florida, places, the bigger prison systems, the segregation, in the prison yard, this is the black area, this is the Latino area, this is the white area. We didn't have a lot of that in Indiana, okay? However, they still had their gangs and still had their affiliations and biases, I guess. So, with that being said, like I said, this is where we're going to go on this venture, okay? I'm going to take you from the beginning of my correctional officer career to the end of my correctional officer career, and I want to hit on things in between that time. So you're at 15 years worth of stuff I need to hit on. Meanwhile, what I'll be doing is I'll be talking to some people that still work there, some people that have worked there, and so on, and I will be correlating with them, and I will bring their names up if I do talk to them and they put anything in there. I will make mention of them one way or the other, and then you can, just to give them the credit, because it's not all me. And so I hope you join along on this adventure. This is going to be a lengthy series, and I'm okay with that because it needs to be told. It's a good story. It really is. So, with that being said, join us for the next video. And I don't know when that will be, but I do know it won't be too long from now. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, Out There with Danny Ray, this is far from what we normally do. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, folks, subscribe, share, comment. Man, comment, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. It doesn't matter. Maybe, just maybe, we'll learn something. I kind of hope that a lot of these people who are doing the other side perception, I really hope that they'd comment. You know, they come in, they comment, and we can see that, hey, man, I just watched a video of this guy. He's like, hey, we're people too. You got to remember that when you deal with us, we're people too. And guess what? We are people too. You have to remember that. So, with that being said, man, I'll see you at the next video.